Broadcasting live from WOYK's downtown studios at Santander Stadium. Talking York's home teams. Welcome to York College Spartans Sports Weekly on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Now, here are your hosts of Spartan Sports Weekly, Daryl Henry and Scott Geis.
Well, very well done intro. Very well done. So many inaccuracies, though, in that. First of all, once again, where's Derek? For one. For two, I mean, we're sort of live. We're live right now.
We're plausibly live.
You, me, and Derek are live currently.
Well, you have a lot of work to do tonight, so we had to get in here a little early and get things done. So, you know, big game tonight with, I believe, the Barnstormers coming to town, correct?
That's correct. It is the first of 28 against the Barnstormers this year. There's zero chance that we could ever get tired of that.
Well, hey, look at it this way. By game 14, you have a pretty good idea who you're playing. So you should be able to not have to write stuff in the book in terms of defensive alignments. You're going to pretty much know who should be where. So that's going to save you a little bit of time.
Scouting report.
It's going to be pretty easy.
Derek, anything to add to that?
It's the 2015 first installment of the War of the Roses. So that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
It's a huge deal. So not a great start, but not a terrible start this weekend for you guys.
Yeah, we lost 2 out of 3, and I mean, it's everything at the beginning of a season is magnified.
Yes.
An opening night loss, when you score 2 runs, everybody wants to say, "Oh, the team can't hit." But it's one game out of 140.
Exactly.
So, and it's one series out of whatever adds up to 140.
A lot of series. No, I think, hey, you never like to lose that season opener, but it's one of those things where you understand that it's a step in the journey, and the journey takes a lot of steps. So, I mean, it's not that big a deal. Obviously, you'd like to win, but the Revs will be just fine.
Saturday was a big win. You don't want to have that 0 in the win column for too long.
Yeah.
Guys will start to press. Lancaster lost their first 3 in Sugarland, didn't score at all, hardly, and then they did get that. And I'm happy that they got that win yesterday because I didn't want them coming up here.
No, you don't want to have to deal with the team that's looking for the first win, and even though it's early, teams can get desperate early, and kind of sometimes the wounded animal is a dangerous one. So should be a great game tonight. I think you're going to have good weather. It's not going to rain. It might be a little chilly, but other than that, I think it's going to be a pretty nice night for baseball.
I like that early in the season. I like a little chill.
It should feel like spring.
Yeah.
It should feel like early spring, which I wouldn't mind it being a little warmer today. But actually, we had a gorgeous weekend this weekend. It was great.
Yeah. Well, guys, welcome in. Appreciate you laying down some audio with us early. It's live when we're doing it. It's just, when people hear it, it's
that's okay.
Not quite live.
We're not giving weather reports, so
we just get past that?
Yeah, it's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah, that's true. It's been a few weeks since the weather report, but it's no longer a huge story because it's gotten a little bit better. So
hopefully it continues to get better.
I hope so.
Though I would like to enjoy the spring. The one problem we seem to have around here is you go straight from winter to summer. It gets real hot real quick. I like these 65, 70-degree days where it's sunny outside and it's still a little crisp at night.
Yeah.
We can wear a sweatshirt. So, yeah, I enjoy this. I enjoy this time of year a lot.
You have your nice York College fleece on today.
Of course. It's not 85 degrees in the studio today. So.
Yeah, it's nice in here. Well, this is York College Spartan Sports Weekly. We have a couple of shows left. Should we let them know what our plans are?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Next week we're going to break. It can be our spring break. We'll spend it in York, but
wow, we're party animals.
But we'll take a 1-week break as things kind of conclude, and the Revs are coming off a road trip, and you've got a lot going on. We
will be recovering from the 2-day track and field championship, so Monday will be a welcome reprieve for us.
And you'll be managing a juggernaut of a youth baseball team.
I don't know about juggernaut.
Showdown.
We actually will open up our regular season on Monday. So
opening night,
the old Windsor Spartans. Yeah, we're gonna have fun. We had a fun weekend, so I'm looking forward to it.
So we'll break next week and then return the following Monday and kind of put the wraps on the school year and get ready then for next fall is when we'll be back.
Yeah, I don't want to rush it. I want to enjoy my summer.
That's fine.
I almost said it's right around the corner, which it kind of is, but it'll be nice to get away for a little bit and get a little bit of a break.
But this has been fun.
Oh, I'm loving the radio show. Derek's really chatty today, so I think he likes the radio show too.
Are you still preparing over there?
Oh, for
your segments
as best as I can.
Yeah. I guess this is sort of maybe the last kind of normal show where we talk about every team and games taking place. When we're back in 2 weeks, it'll kind of be a recap of the season. Yep. But yeah, so we'll get into it here, and if you've missed any shows along the way, archives are on ycpspartans.com, WOYK1350.com, and you can follow us live on air, online, at the aforementioned beautiful websites, and also on the mobile apps of one WOYK 1350. So download those. There's your command for the day, and you can listen on the go. You can take us with you wherever you may be. So, guys, the big story around campus here the last week, the York College women's lacrosse team continues to just move forward, and a huge win at home in the CAC semifinals against St. Mary's. So now they have a little time to get ready for the CAC championship on Saturday at Salisbury. But that was the big win of the week, and what a magical season they've enjoyed.
Yeah, it's their sixth win in a row, and a good win at that. They'll be advancing back to the CAC championship game for the fourth straight year. And really the game on Saturday against St. Mary's, it was similar to the game that they played against them 2 weeks ago. It was a big first half for York, and they just kind of used that first half to put St. Mary's away early, and then second half just kind of cruised along. In the last meeting, the Spartans, they held a 9-3 advantage at halftime with a 23-8 shot advantage and a 10-3 lead in draws, and very similar numbers again on Saturday, as they held an 8-2 lead at half to go along with a 19-8 shot advantage and a 9-2 advantage on the draw. So it was just really the first half is what did it in for them. The Seahawks struck first, but then that kind of lit a fire under York as they went on and ripped off 7 straight goals in the first half. Sarah Castle got it started. Lily Damalugi also scored the second goal. Both of those goals came off a pair of Seahawk turnovers. Allison Calesi and Caitlin Cotrano chipped in the first half as well. And Jamie Verman, the team's leading scorer, and ranking up there in the CAC in both points and goals. She had a pair of first half goals. So everyone was contributing. Again, that's kind of been the theme all year. Is it's not just one person on offense. It's been a collection of players. And again, offensively they did very well, and defensively too. Carly Doherty, another big game on the draw. Really, that's been the theme all year for York is the winning the draw. Maintaining possession after you build a lead and get some momentum going offensively. If you can maintain possession by winning the draw and causing turnovers as well, that's what keeps possession on your side and really will put the other team away.
They've been playing great, and I think that the key is sometimes. We always talk about wanting to play great at the end of the year. Well, they're playing great at the end of the year, and honestly, there haven't been as many years in the last 3 where we've gone, man, I feel really good about our chances at Salisbury. I feel really good about our chances this weekend. The last time they played, it was we're missing 3 starters, and to go down there and be healthy and be ready to go. Obviously, we still have a week of practice to get ready, so hopefully everybody can stay healthy, but. I think the opportunity to go down there and play well is really is upon us. And hey, if you would have told me at the beginning of this year this team would do this, I would have probably said, I think you're a little crazy, because the sheer number of really good players that we lost is staggering. And really, the last 2 years we've lost a lot of really good players, and Coach Muslin's done an outstanding job of really kind of just filling in and keeping going and doing a great job. So, she's certainly, I think this is one of her best coaching jobs yet, and she does a heck of a job. But she really has this group of ladies really playing well and doing a good job. And I think Saturday could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you talked about, not playing with a full deck, you should say, last time. Jamie Verman, our leader in points, leader in goals, was out for that game due to an injury. And then we lost a couple of the girls during the game. Megan Strauk, who's been a huge part of the defense for us. She's almost like a one-woman clear machine. When she scoops up the ball in the defensive end, that ball's going to make it to the offensive zone without a turnover. And she was actually physically knocked out of the first meeting with Salisbury. Salisbury played a very physical game. It was almost like a safety coming across the middle and laying out a receiver. I mean, she was coming up the field, and one of those Salisbury players just came up and literally just checked her, like you would see a hockey check, and then hit her on the head with the stick during the contact. So she suffered concussion. Katie Owens, who's also been a key defensive player for us, has been a starter every game. Again, she was knocked out of the game as well. So getting those three players back for this game coming up on Saturday is going to be huge for us, and Vermin especially, because I look at her as kind of the straw that stirs the drink offensively. She really can create her own for herself, but she also creates for others, and she brings a little bit different style of play. She's not really a dodgy player, which you see a lot of in women's lacrosse. She's not afraid to kind of lower her shoulder, body a girl up, and take it to the net. So I think against Salisbury, that can, her style of play can definitely play an advantage to us, because you don't see that style too often. And then also, I'll go on the defensive side. Rachel Donovan, who's played in the last two games, the goalkeeper. She has been on and off all year. Has played more of a backup role throughout the year, but as of late has come on and looks strong. She had 4 saves in the win against Christopher Newport last week, and then she had a career-high 8 saves in the win against St. Mary's, and 4 of those saves came on free position shots. So the girls were free position shots. You're basically it's you and the goalie lined up, and she turned away all 4 of those. So she's looking really good right now. And to have that position kind of locked down right now is going to be huge, because Salisbury is going to bring everything offensively. So like we said, I think our team's peaking at the right time for sure. Everything seems to be clicking, and to get some players back heading to Salisbury, and I think our team has all the confidence in the world right now. They're playing so well that it doesn't matter who they're playing. They're going to come in with a confidence and a chip on their shoulder, because it is Salisbury, and they know, everyone knows the history. It's heavily one-sided, but I think this time around it could be a little bit different mindset for us for sure.
Well, go ahead, Scott.
I think one of the things you look at with this team is, and we'll talk about it with Coach Mustin in the interview, but there's not one player. There's no one player that Salisbury can focus on offensively. We got to have to shut this person down, because the scoring is so well distributed and so spread out that really on any given day it could be a list of a number of different kids that could be the star of the game, or be the top performer, or be the kid that really gets hot. Between Vermin and Lily Damalugi and Castle and Colasi, there's a litany of kids. Brittany Noel.
And Rachel Sachs, a girl who's been has seen a lot of minutes but hasn't quite put up the points. She had a goal in Saturday's game. So again, there's another person you have to worry about.
I think it makes this more difficult to prepare for, and I think it makes us more dangerous. And I think those are the two things that will play a role in whether we win or lose on Saturday.
One thing that's very unique, you've gone through a regular season where you're playing, every couple of days, and here, you played the final game of the regular season Saturday, April 18th. You have a full week until the CAC semifinals. Now another full week until the CAC finals. Does that give the team a chance to get healthy, or is that a good thing, or are they chomping at the bit?
I think health-wise they're good. Certainly they can use rest. Yeah. We did it last week. We had a week off and played, very well. But I don't know. Scott and I were talking about this earlier. Scott's thought process is, let's play. Let's keep in that rhythm and play on Wednesday. And I would have to agree. We're hot right now. So the sooner you play, the better. But I don't know.
Well, and that's going to stop. The NCAA tournament opens on Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. Obviously, if we don't win the conference championship, we'll find out whether we're in or not. I got to feel with our record and our strength of schedule, we have another good chance of getting an at-large bid for the 4th year in a row. But obviously, you'd like to just negate that by winning the conference and getting the automatic bid. So I think it's very likely that you go back to that. You'll go back to that Wednesday, Saturday rotation and have an opportunity to do that. So I think it's good in the respect that they're going to fine-tune some stuff. Coach talked about that. You get the opportunity to kind of shore up some of the things that they think they can do better. And I think that's, they'll, as a coach, you play it as a positive however you want it to be. If you're playing on Wednesday, it's like, hey, we're getting the opportunity to get right back on the field. If you're playing Saturday, your spin to the team is, hey, we're going to have an opportunity to kind of fine-tune some things, get a little rest, kind of mentally prepare. So, as a coach, you spin it whatever way is going to be beneficial to you. And I think, I think Jen's really kind of establishing the right mindset of, hey, we get an opportunity to rest a little bit. We get the opportunity to fine-tune. So I think that's she's gonna play it pretty positively, and I think she'll do a good job with that. And
Salisbury has the same schedule as well, so it's the same for both sides. It's not like one team's getting more rest or less rest, so same for both sides. So that's a good thing too.
We're obviously very much looking forward to this one, and I know that the ladies feel good about their chances. If they do end up needing an at-large, could how well they play on Saturday play into that as far as how a committee looks at it?
I think everything's in play. I think that everything you've done to this point in the year and everything you do in that game, if you go down and get blown out, that's probably not good. If you play a one-goal game and lose in overtime, that helps you. Yeah. And at the end of the day, your resume is pretty much, it is what it is at this point in time. But, I think certainly if there's, if you're tied on a bunch of different criteria with, teams you're competing against and, you need that at-large bid, I think everything comes into play. And, I hope we've done enough, and I think we have done enough to this point in time to be able to earn an at-large bid. And certainly I would much rather win a conference championship. That's a lot more fun.
No doubt, and that is exactly what they will be going for on Saturday. Scott, you had a chance to catch up with head coach Jen Mustin earlier today, and here is that conversation.
We are joined today by York College head women's lacrosse coach Jen Mustin as the Spartans are heading to the CAC championship again. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Sure, no problem.
Another strong performance in the semifinals against St. Mary's, almost kind of a carbon copy of what the first game was. You played great in the first half and pretty much dominate play, and then play well in the second half to earn the win. What are your thoughts about the win on Saturday?
I think we were really excited going into that game. We had a week to prepare and kind of rest ourselves and kind of get pumped up. So, we played really well in the first half. I think the difference in that half was the draws. We got the majority of the draws. It equals more possession, more time on offense, and we really took the time on offense to make sure we were taking quality shots. I think in the second half, the difference was that we stopped getting as many draws. We became a little anxious on offense, maybe holding the ball too long or taking the first shot, not really getting into a good flow. So, we're going to work through those types of things this week, but overall it was a really good game and a good win, and we were just very excited to get that win just to get to our ultimate goal, which has always been to get back to this championship game.
A familiar foe heading to Salisbury again. This game this year, 10-7, with two of your best players not playing and another one who left the game early. Does that give you a lot of optimism heading into this game?
It really does. I think that the last time we played them, it was really hard fought. All of our players gave, a great effort. And at the same time, I don't think we played to our best potential, even though we were, the effort was kind of there. I think the smarts and the game decisions that we were making at the time were not very good. And also we were missing three of our top players. So, I think that gives us a little bit of, we feel a little bit good about that going into the next game, knowing that, we're playing a lot better now in the season than we did at that time. And we have, three of our starters back for that game. And, I think it's going to be a really good matchup, and we're going to be ready to go. And I know they'll be ready to go, but, we've had a goal in mind all season, and it's the time to kind of make sure that we execute this goal.
You've won 6 in a row and really have played great throughout that winning streak. Is the confidence level, does that help, one, the confidence level, and two, as a coach, do you just feel better about where you're at?
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely playing very confident. The girls know and see that they're playing the best lacrosse at this point in the season. We're pointing it out to them every day, and this is what you want. And, that just gives us confidence going into each game, knowing that, the last game we showed, we played our best lacrosse, and we need to continue that. We need to work hard to make sure that doesn't fall short and that we can, play the best game that we need to in order to win the game. So we're feeling really good about where we are, but we also don't want to get comfortable. We want to keep pushing in practice and making sure keep raising that bar even higher.
Talk a little bit to the listeners who's playing really well for you. Obviously, Carly Doherty's been great. Megan Strouk's been great. You've had Jamie Verman's been really good on offense. Who's playing well for you right now?
Like you said, the obvious choices. I think Carly is unmatched on the draw in terms of ground balls. It's very hard to beat her. She's very quick off the line and fast and aggressive. Strouk, we changed her position a little, and she's now our backer of our defense, and she commands a lot from the rest of the team. So, those two in particular, the last 2 games we've played a new goalie in Rachel Donovan, and she's come up with some key saves. She had 8 saves against St. Mary's, which is, pretty high at this point, and, really looking for her to continue that hot hand into the next game. And, I think overall, everyone on the team contributes on game day, and that's really important, and that's something that we stress. We don't want to rely on 1 or 2 players. We want everyone to have a hand in our success because it's difficult to guard someone or shut someone down that's like that. So I think overall, everyone's doing a good job of just getting their piece of the pie.
You talk about having a piece of the pie. In the past, we've had some dominant scorers. This year, it's much more spread out. Does that make us a more difficult team to face?
I really like having an offense that is multi-dimensional in that you can't just pick one player to face guard or to shut off, or if that player just happens to have a bad day, then it's all over. And that used to be who we were, but now we have so many players that can score. I don't have to worry about if one player is having an off day because I know that any one of them that are out there or that I'll sub in can put the ball in the net. And that's really comforting for us because we know at some point we're going to get it done. We're going to score a certain amount of goals no matter who's doing it because we can rely on everyone. And you can be really dangerous that way.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we're talking next week about a conference championship.
Yeah, that's the goal. Thanks very much.
All right, that is Spartan women's lacrosse head coach Jen Mustin. You can hear the excitement, guys, as she talks about that team and the way they've been playing here right now, and for good reason.
No, there's no doubt. There's a lot of confidence going on, and I know they're looking forward to, preparing this week and really getting a chance to go down there next weekend and have some success.
Yeah, sorry, Derek.
I was going to say it's to be the 4th straight meeting between these 2 schools in the conference championship game. Game time will be at 3:30 on Saturday at Salisbury, and you can check out ycpspartans.com. We'll have links to live feed, live stats. Salisbury obviously will be covering the game as far as the live stream and all that stuff. It'll all be on there through their website, but our website will have all the links you need to watch live coverage of that game. And then, like you said, Daryl, moving forward for the NCAAs, I think we've locked that up to say, making it to the championship game pretty much solidifies us making it to the NCAA tournament. I think regardless of the outcome, if you look at the rankings right now, we're 6th, and Salisbury is 5th. And if you look at the regional, our region has F&M, Gettysburg Catholic, Washington and Lee, Salisbury, Messiah, St. Mary's, Stevenson. We've beaten Messiah. We've beaten St. Mary's twice. Lost to Salisbury once. Lost to Catholic, Gettysburg, and F&M. But those are all ranked teams as well, and we're ranked 13th in the latest national polls. So, we're right there. That 6th spot in the region, I think, is very good. So I think we have a very good chance of making the NCAAs. Now, whether we'll host or not is yet to be determined, and whether we'll play on Wednesday or play on Saturday. All depends on. I think that will probably come down to how we play on Saturday. If we win, obviously, we'll be playing on Saturday. If we lose, it all depends on what the committee thinks as far as are we a Wednesday team or are we a Saturday team?
Yeah. Well, and certainly the way that this team has played, the expectation is to go down there and to compete very well on Saturday. I think it seems to me like it's a new expectation that the way that this.
I just think I think we've always expected to compete. I think realistically the difference is Salisbury. They're very good. They're not as dominant as they've been the last couple years, and I think that's that's the reason for optimism. Is you really understand that. one of the things that Coach Mustin said to us today was they're still really good, but they're not a team that is favored, should we say, to win a national championship.
In the past, she said they were the best team in the country. They were the clear-cut number one team in the conference. This year, not so much the case. They're not. She doesn't like their chances of winning a national championship as much this year. So I think the gap has shrunk, at least for this year, between us and them. So and like I said, we're playing really well. We're peaking at the right time. So we're gonna have to play well for sure, man. We're not going to have to show up and win. We're gonna have to play really good. We're gonna have to get some key saves, and we're gonna have to match their physicality and their tempo offensively. But I think we're definitely capable of doing that.
Is that how you guys see this game? Is it going to be a physical type of?
Well, Salisbury definitely brings the physicality, and of course, them being them, they're going to get the benefit of some calls and some. I don't want to say favoritism of the refs, but that's kind of what it comes down to. So I think they're going to dictate some of the physicality, but we have to make sure we limit that and play to our strength as well. If they want to,
Well, and if you're going to stand, hey, let's face it, it's like a bully. You stand up to the bully, they're going to back down a little bit. If we just stand up and withstand, I think it's going to be a real key the first 10 minutes of the game to kind of withstand what they're going to throw at us, because they're going to come at us. If we can withstand that, I think we have a great shot of winning.
Weather the early storm, and then it's anyone's game after that.
Well, from the crew at York College Spartans Sports Weekly, we wish the Spartan women's lacrosse team the absolute best of luck on Saturday. Look forward to following that. All right, that's our first segment. The York College women's lacrosse team in the CAC Finals Saturday at 3:30 at Salisbury. We will take a break. We'll talk men's lacrosse, also a review of the track and field week that was, and preview of the CAC championships coming to York. Stay tuned. Much more straight ahead here on this edition of York College Spartan Sports Weekly, right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Blazing fast service for all of your wipeouts. OSS Health Urgent Care will take care of all of your muscular and skeletal sprains, pops, twists, and breaks in minutes, not hours. Open 7 days a week for your urgent orthopedic needs. Now at 2 convenient locations, 1855 Powder Mill Road in York and 856 Century Drive in Mechanicsburg. Visit us online at osshealth.com. OSS Health Urgent Care. Experience you can trust.
Dad, I'm home. Why am I not surprised to find you laying on the couch?
Oh, hi, son. Is your fall semester over already?
Yep, I love it at York College, and I really like living on campus this year.
Yeah, that reminds me. We need to have a little talk. About the facts of life.
Dad, we had that talk years ago. And anyway, I don't believe you ordered me from Amazon.com.
I mean, your mom and I are helping to pay for your college as much as we can, but now you've got room and board on top of books and tuition, and you haven't asked me once for money.
Dad, I told you last year that York Educational Federal Credit Union took care of all that. That student choice loan we applied for last year was a one-time application. All I have to do this year is tell them how much I need, and they send the money right to the school. The loan is set up similar to my Stafford loan, so I don't have to start making payments until 6 months after I graduate. I told you YEFCU rocks.
College has been good for you, son. You're smarter already.
York Educational Federal Credit Union, 1601 South Queen Street, York. Apply online at yefcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, sports fans, great news. Now you can listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stranded in Siberia? No problem. Kidnapped by wolves? It's not as bad as you may think. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Your home for York's home team. The York College Spartans play here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK, York.
Back here on York College Spartan Sports Weekly. What a great way to spend our Monday afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, course, it's always a great day when the three of us get together.
I didn't know if I should wait for a response or just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. It's totally okay.
Trucking, Daryl.
All right. Well, track and field, guys, and it's a busy time of year as that season approaches its finish line. See what I did there?
Oh, I like it.
How you did that. I like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Would have been better had I just not drawn any attention to it and just
okay.
let it go. But let's get the recap on what has happened here in the past week. And, of course, we're looking forward to hosting many an athlete coming up here very shortly at our tremendous facility right outside the Grumbacher Center as well.
Yes, the conference championships are coming up on this Saturday. Wow, it feels weird to say that.
It's hard to believe.
And so in preparation for that, the Spartans were in action this past weekend for their final tune-up before conference championships. They were at Shippensburg University at the highly competitive Paul Kaiser Classic. It was teams represented from all divisions, 1, 2, and 3, over 1,800 participants. So it was a big meet for sure. And the Spartans did very well. They had a lot of personal records fall. So that's a good thing. You like to see that right before conference championships. People are performing at the high level. On the men's side, kind of the highlight of the day was senior Michael Stetson. He set the new school record in the 3,000-meter run as he finished second overall in the event with a time of 8:37.46. The old school mark was held by All-American standout Tim Hartung. So that's anytime you're surpassing Tim, that's a good record.
You're doing pretty good.
You're doing some good things. And then two other Spartans, performed well in the 3,000 as well. Senior Craig Epler and Ryan Ogg both set personal records as they finished 19th and 20th. Moving on to the 5K, again, two top 10 finishers. Andy McGibbon placed fourth with a personal best time of 15:50.5, and Chris Sander also set a personal record with a time of 15:51.54 as he finished seventh. And in the 10K, again, more top 10s. Colin Fleming was York's top performer and also the top Division III performer in that event as he placed seventh with a time of 34:28. Tim Moore and Rafi Fernandez finished right behind him in 8th and 9th place as they both set personal record times. And then also Will Murray performed very well in the 1,500-meter run with a 15th place finish and a personal record time of 4:09.66, along with Andrew Tyrus, who also set a personal record in the 1,500-meter. And then on the women's side, kind of similar story. Casey Fogelsanger in the 5,000-meter, she led York with a 7th place finish at a time of 19:09.04, and Jenna Roberts placed 12th with a personal best time of 19:27.54, and also Emily Abel set a personal record in the 5,000 meter as well. Caroline Delaney, as we've mentioned before in this program, was Spartan senior standout. She had a great day as well. She finished 10th in the 1,500 meter with a personal record time of 4:58.57. Also, Shannon Kusarik and Emily Plant, they also had personal records as well. They both competed in the 800 meter. And Emily Cronise set a personal record in the 400 meter dash. And in the field, Amanda Mackey, she's been performing pretty well all season in the field with the throws. She had a personal record time or personal record distance in the javelin, and with a distance of 27.67 meters, as she moves into the top 10 into the conference as she prepares to compete this weekend. And so that's good. A lot of personal records, people hitting high marks, peaking at the right time as we're inside a week away from conference championships will be held this Saturday and Sunday here at York.
And the action kicks off Saturday, 3 o'clock. Starts with the field events, the pole vault, triple jump, shot put, javelin at 5 o'clock, the pole vault and triple jump finals. On the track side, the men and women start the 110-meter hurdles are at 3:30, and then followed by the 100-meter prelim, 200-meter prelim, and then the 1,000 final. You just run. Each side runs one race of the 10 instead of they couldn't run prelim, so that's just one timed final. And then on Sunday the action kicks off at 10 a.m. With the field events, and then followed by 11 a.m. the 3,000 meter steeplechase. So we're actually going to put everything up online for those of you interested in looking at a schedule. We will have a schedule online to be able to pick out and possibly come over and check out some quality track and field action. 6 schools will be here. It'll be Christopher Newport, Mary Washington, Salisbury, York, Wesley, and Frostburg State. So I think the expectation for the Spartans is they finished 5th last year in the women. I think Coach Lobianco thinks they can crack that top 3. And the men last year finished 4th, and I think he thinks the expectation is to finish, can finish 3rd this year. So, it all depends. Hopefully the weather's nice. You can get some good times and be able to get an opportunity to really end the season strong with a high ranking at your own championships when you host. So last time the men hosted, they won. I don't think we're in danger of doing that this year. Just from a sheer numbers perspective, win a championship, you have to have a ton of depth, and we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. So I anticipate a happy coach when we talk to him on Monday.
Yeah, I would expect us to do, I think on both sides, men and women, look for the distance, mid-distance runners to perform well, and then a couple other names to keep an eye on. Men's side, Darnell Tillman has been up. He's a sprinter, 100, 200, and 400, and he's been up there in the top performance lists in the conference all year long. And then also, the men on the men's side as well, the throwers have been, hitting top 8, scoring points in almost every meet they've been in. So men have some good balance, but we'll look to see, hopefully they perform well on the right day. That's ultimately what it comes down to, is that you have your best performance on that day.
Now, what is the scene going to be like? I mean, we've hosted before. It's been a few years, but what is it like when?
It's interesting because our meet, the championship meet, is actually going to be smaller than our invitational meet earlier in the year, so it's not going to be quite as chaotic. It's kind of a festival scene. There's a lot of people kind of on the outside of the track. They set up tents and everything, canopies along the grass field, the Seligman field. So it's kind of a cool atmosphere. A lot of people milling about. It's really you have to pay attention to the schedule because there's a lot of things going on. So the ability to kind of just follow along and get the opportunity to see some of these things, it's a pretty cool atmosphere. Yeah,
with 6 teams, it will feel like nothing compared to the Twilight meet we hosted a couple weeks ago. So it won't be as hectic or chaotic, we hope.
You know what I like about it? It's like athletic competition in its purest form. I mean, it's the Olympic sports. It goes back to like the ancient Roman days.
Well, the great thing about it is it's very clear cut.
Yeah,
the guy who runs fastest wins. Whoever throws it the farthest wins. Whoever jumps the highest wins. It's a neat thing, and it's really cool to see kids really going all out. And there's I'll tell you what, there's gonna be some really good performers. There's a young man from Salisbury who will go and have a chance to win a national championship this year in a number of different events, Luke Campbell. He is really good. And so you're not going to, I think a lot of people, there's still that perception of, Division III, how good are they? And we're going to see some really good athletes.
Yeah, you're going to see some really good times and just some really good athletes for sure.
Yeah, make no mistake about that. Well, we'll take a break here on your College Spartans Sports Weekly. We'll get to men's lacrosse, baseball, and softball when we come back as the show continues here in just a moment. You're listening right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Hey athletes, does the winter weather dampen your sports training? It doesn't have to. Take your game inside at Backyard University, York's spectacular indoor sports training facility, right at home in your backyard. Located inside Fairmont Gym at 201 South Charles Street in Red Lion, Backyard University is a beautiful, state-of-the-art indoor complex for all of your sport needs. Featuring a complete baseball and softball training complex with batting cages, pitching tunnels, and a turf field for the entire team, Backyard hosts camps, clinics, and competitive youth travel teams to play in the region's top tournaments. Join York Revolution greats Jason Espedo, Daryl Harang, and Corey Thurman for one-on-one training. And take your speed and agility to a whole new level with professional trainer David Brixius from Explosive Sports Performance. Play your game year-round at Backyard University, right at home in your backyard. Visit online at backyard-university.com.
Security in life isn't something you just wish for. You build it with a strong financial plan. Start with Northwestern Mutual. Together, we'll design a disciplined and balanced approach to financial security, because reaching your goals is something we both want to work toward. To learn more, contact me Dan McGarry at my office on the square in York. Look for the blue awnings. Who's helping you build your financial future? The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
We're screaming green. How about you? The York College Spartans are on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Back here on York College Spartans Sports Weekly, Daryl Henry, Scott Geis, Derek Berenshausen, Ray Jensen is in here as well. Ray is all flying high after his wrestling show in the adjacent studio. Is it tough to come down from that after that intense hour? I would imagine it is, yeah. All right.
I'm going to put him through the table. Bam!
Well, he'll get to...
That really wouldn't be fair.
He'll get to blow off some steam on the PA mic tonight when we host the Barnstormers. But... guys, talking men's lacrosse, and unfortunately the season came to a close for them this week, probably sooner than they would have liked or would have expected heading into the season. How do you sum up what really seemed to be kind of an up and down year for them, finishing at 10-9? Obviously, it's some great individual play, but how would you sum it up? How would Coach sum it up?
I think it was bittersweet. I think things if we would have told him at the beginning of the year all the things that were going to go wrong would have gone wrong, he would have been like, hey, 10 wins and a berth in the CAC semifinals is pretty good. Obviously, there were high expectations coming off a record-setting last year, but when you lose two midfielders, the caliber of Seth Krolis and Jamie Lowe, blanked there for a second.
Picking you up
wow,
there.
Thank you. Hey, you lose two guys like that. That's hard to replace, and we just never were able to do that this year. We struggled, and all in all, it was a pretty productive year. Unfortunately, the highlight probably came early in the year with the win over Washington, and it turns out Washington wasn't as good as they've been traditionally. So it was kind of a year of transition. Now, the number of positive things that occurs is a lot of guys got playing time who probably wouldn't play as freshmen. So we're ahead of the game in terms of next year, in terms of experience, bringing guys back. We lose 4 great seniors. We lose one historic senior in Tyler Hudson. I mean, the guy was unbelievable. As humble a superstar as you're ever going to get. Is the all-time. For this season is the active all-time leading scorer in active player in Division III so far.
Wow.
So he's only one of 13 guys in the country that have scored over 200 goals in their career all time.
Wow.
I mean, that to me is mind-boggling. And considering the year he had.
I smell a Hall of Fame induction 10 years down the road.
10 years from now, just rubber stamp it. He's getting in. He ended up with 75 points for the year, 45 goals and a career-high 30 assists. That is amazing to me, considering he was really it. Offensively, he was the guy who the Spartans relied on and really was... He was the guy. It was really easy to defend us. Hey, go after Hudson, face guard him, do everything you possibly can to not get him get the ball. He still had 45 goals and 30 assists.
On his lowest shot total of his career, too.
Of his career. I mean, he shot almost 40%, 67% on goal. That to me just shows how unbelievably good he was. And I hate to use the word was. It was actually kind of sad. As I was walking out to the press box on Friday, and they were out practicing, and I'm thinking, we're playing Salisbury on Saturday. Probably a good chance we're not going to win that game, just the way the year's gone. And I thought, holy crap, that's Tyler Hudson's last collegiate practice. I got a little sad because, I mean, he's such a – and you talk about all of our seniors, Dale Kowach, Tyler Fields, and Drew Thomas. Those guys have been really good players for us. Dale's he's overcome.
Good glue guys, as Coach would say.
Fantastic glue guys. Tyler Fields really had a great senior year. Drew Thomas had his senior year kind of cut short by injury, but came back at the end of the year and really did a good job. Dale's a guy who's been through 2 ACL surgeries. I mean, that's crazy. But just great. I'm not sure that we've faced we've had a tougher guy than Dale Kowach. I mean, that guy is just he's had two ACL surgeries, still the fastest guy on the team.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, he can play. He is a gifted athlete and just a tough guy. So certainly, I think nobody wanted to see them go out, with less than what I think everybody thought we were going to be this year. But at the end of the day, this year is going to serve us very well moving forward in terms of the development of the men's lacrosse program. Coach Childs is incredibly excited about the recruiting class. He was kind of giving me a rundown the other day, and let's just say we have an opportunity to be very good again next year. And I feel bad because part of the hype was we were going to be really good this year, and we just had a bunch of things go wrong, and that happens in sports all the time. So if we can, I'm going to put if we can stay healthy next year, we have an opportunity to be special. Even replacing our all-time leading scorer, there's some freshmen that are coming in that are pretty talented. Some guys that are high school wise have put up some amazing numbers in lacrosse intensive areas. So I think it's going to be really positive, and I would be very surprised if we're not very good again next year. Coach Childs does a fantastic job. I mean, he's one of the best coaches we have. He just continues to have an eye for talent and ability to recruit guys and come in and can make an impact on the program and do things the right way. I think that's one of the most important things is he has a bunch of really good guys on his team. And I'm already excited about next year, even though losing those 4 seniors and particularly Tyler is somebody who was just a fantastic lacrosse player and even a better person. Hopefully he can maybe capture the CAC Player of the Year honors and also have an opportunity to make All-American again.
Yeah, and just a couple other notes on Tyler. Obviously led the conference in both points and goals this year. And I think what Scott was trying to say earlier, he graduates as, well, I shouldn't say, it's kind of weird to word it, but he was the active career leader in goals across all divisions, Division 1, 2, and 3.
I didn't know that. I didn't know the all divisions.
Yeah, it was his 206 career goals ranked him first, across any division for a career in NCAA. Now, obviously,
not too shabby.
Yeah, not bad. And he goes down, and his 79 assists, his 30 assists this year gives him 79 for his career. So now he becomes the all-time career assist leaders in school history, along with having already had the goals and already had the points. So just an illustrious career, no doubt, for him.
And again, it goes without saying. I think we've said this a number of times about Tyler. He's a great guy too. He was an academic All-American last year. So hopefully, we actually are in the process. We'll nominate that again tomorrow. Hopefully, he'll have an opportunity to do that again. He's what you want in a student athlete. He's a great student. He's a great player, great person, and certainly we're going to miss him next year. But I think he's he's kind of laid the groundwork for us to continue to be great. He has laid the groundwork as a captain to continue to carry on that leadership throughout next year and into the future.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that the team wanted to go further, but that was an incredible season to watch from him. And they did have their moments. I mean, 10 victories. Some of them were absolutely thrilling that we had detailed over the weeks gone by.
They achieved their highest ranking was 6th at one point. That's the highest in school history. That's you can't be upset with that. Definitely some good things to build on moving forward. Just the injury bug, along with a number of other things, contributed to some disappointing times of the year. But certainly a lot of things to keep your head held high about, and certainly fuel for the fire moving forward. There's no doubt Coach Childs, Coach Hoffmeister, Coach Knox are going to have these guys, back and better than ever next season, and are going to continue to recruit hard in the off season for sure.
Well, in fact, we saw Jake Catchmark, our face-off specialist, as we were walking out. Jake, what are you going to do with all your time now? He's like, I don't know, but I'm ready to go. They're already ready to kind of get back at it and start working. And the one thing about this group of guys, they're highly motivated, and they're a group of guys that are going to do the best they can to prepare themselves to be really good. In fact, I would be stunned if later this week we don't look out our office and see those guys on the field playing pickup.
Absolutely.
Because that's the kind of group they are. They'll take a couple days off, but they're going to want to get back at it, and they want to get back on the field and start playing and have the opportunity to kind of start improving for next year.
We'll look out, and there'll be at noon or 11 a.m. Some guy will have a bucket of balls and be out there just ripping shots on goal. I mean, that's just what the mindset of this team. These guys are.
I'd be stunned if one of those guys isn't Tyler Hudson too.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he can put it down. I mean, I think he's the kind of guy he's always good. That's kind of part of what he does. I'd be stunned if we don't look out there at some point in time and see him just ripping shots, because that's what he's been doing for the last 4 years. It's really hard to just kind of turn it off, and so it'll be interesting to see.
These guys have the great mindset. They're obviously not satisfied. They're hungry for more, and they're going to They just want to keep working, and
Well,
I think they're so driven. That's the kind of player, Coach Child's player looks at somebody who's a great character guy first, somebody who's internally driven, and I think this team's loaded with those kind of guys. So it's there's really no worries moving forward. It's just a matter of just getting better and keep working, and then, the breaks will come and the success will come along with that.
All right. Well, that is men's lacrosse, a 10-9 season, and obviously some of the all-time great individual play from Tyler Hudson. We'll take our final break. Baseball and softball coming up next. You're on York College Spartans Sports Weekly. At OSS Health, our highly trained physicians are on the field, in the training room, at home games, or away. From preseason physicals to postseason surgery, we're on the sidelines so athletes don't have to be, getting you back in the game. When it comes to sports medicine, we're the ones you've trusted for 30 years. OSS Health Sports Medicine, experience you can trust. Visit us online at osshealth.com.
At Northwestern Mutual, we take a disciplined and balanced approach to financial planning. Together, we'll help build your financial future on time-tested principles, not market trends, so you can take advantage of life's opportunities. To learn more, contact me, Dan McGarry, at my office on a square in York. Look for the blue awnings. Who's helping you build your financial future? The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Your home for the Spartans. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
All right, guys, it is time to put the wraps on this program. We'll do so with baseball and softball and recapping what's going on there. And, guys, baseball still with an opportunity to get near the 500 mark to close their season, heading into play tomorrow at Penn State Berks. Still 8 games remaining, and they'll be home later on this week as well. So it'd be great to see them finish strong.
They're gonna have to do a little work to get back to 500. This week, not a great week. Started off with a loss to Montclair State 12-5. It was a 5-5 game, and then gave up 7 over the final 3 or 4 innings to kind of fall. Great win against Rowan. Really played well. Picked up a 12-9 non-conference win on Wednesday, and then fell at Susquehanna 4-3 on Thursday, and then an 8-2 loss at Stevenson yesterday. So Penn State Berks on the road tomorrow. Moravian at home on Thursday. Then they go to the road for 2 against Randolph-Macon, and then return home the following week with a game against Cortland and Rutgers-Camden. So they got some work to do if they want to finish at 500. They're running out of time, and quite frankly, the one thing you kind of want to see down the stretch is just good baseball. They're playing well in spurts. They played well against F&M last Sunday. They played well for spurts against Montclair, and just couldn't seal the deal. And quite frankly, that's how it's been all year. We've played some really good baseball at times. We have yet to really put together 9 complete innings of baseball. And part of that is just, we've struggled in certain areas of the game. And, one of the things I think we talked about it when we were broadcasting the game the other day, we got 4 runs in the bottom of the inning against Rowan, and then we give 4 right back in the top of the next inning. And that's debilitating when you can't shut it down after you get a bunch of runs to get yourselves back in the game. That's one of the things. Now paid off, worked out okay against Rome. We got the win, but that's something that's been going on all year long with this team.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can get it turned around and finish strong. And they do have a home game coming up this week, like you mentioned. So you guys will be on air?
We will be on air on Thursday, of course.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Tune in.
Everybody's excited. Everybody gets excited when we broadcast games. It's kind of like when you broadcast. Well, it's not even close to when you broadcast games. That's okay.
I don't know what you mean, but okay.
I think everybody likes listening to you. I'm not sure how much they like listening to us.
No, when we actually had the opportunity to do one together here, it was
a
blast. A great time.
That was a lot of fun.
So,
No doubt about that.
Yeah. Well, and softball guys, they're getting ready to close their season on Wednesday, and kind of a tough trek to the finish line here. I guess, beginning maybe with the conference tournament, and they've played some tough teams down the stretch.
Yeah, no question.
For a young team, 21-19.
Yeah. Well, and the opportunity, they got 2 games left. Senior Day will be on Wednesday. Nessa Mendez will be recognized as our only senior. We have no juniors, 3 sophomores. They've had a little bit of the injury bug bite them as well. So they're kind of, I don't want to say limping to the finish because that's not wholly correct. But, this is a young team, and this is a longer season most of these girls have played in their career. High school season is not this long. So a lot of kids are kind of, I think we're a little tired. But we've been off since Friday, so the opportunity to kind of rest a little bit and get going for one final doubleheader on Wednesday against Albright, I think we'll be fine. I think I'd be surprised if we don't play well. The opportunity really to finish above 500 is realistic. If you split, you finish above 500. You win 2, that's even better. If we finish 23-19 for the year, that's a huge win for us. That's a huge step forward for this program, and it's only going to continue to get better. Coach Pettis does a fantastic job, and she's one of those people that's never satisfied either. So she's out on the recruiting trail, and I think for her, just seeing how recruits pan out. She watches a lot of play during summer, and sometimes that can be a little bit deceptive, which I think she's kind of learned with a couple of kids from this year. Maybe they're not as good as you think they are when you're watching them summer play. So different styles of recruiting and learning that I think is important. And she's a smart coach. She's going to do a great job, and she's going to put our kids in position to be really good next year. Now, is next year the year where we're threatening it for a conference championship? I don't know. I think it depends on pitching. I think that pitching in softball is such the key. Derek's dad coaches softball, and really you've been around it your whole life. The pitching is just essential. Yeah,
having a sister who pitched at the collegiate level. If you have a stud pitcher, you can ride that pitcher a long ways for sure. That's in softball, that's bigger than in baseball, because in softball you can throw more innings, you can throw back-to-back games if you need to. So, having that stud arm is huge, and that's why you see the best teams usually have the best pitchers.
And having 2 freshman pitchers this year to pick up, to win the amount of games that we've won with 2 freshman pitchers, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And obviously Courtney Martin's have a great year. She was named all-conference. By the way, I guess we should go.
Yeah.
We should go.
All-conference team was released on Friday of all days, kind of an odd choice, but hey, it's the spring, and you got to roll with the punches in the conference office. It gets pretty busy over there. It was so, as you said, Courtney Martin was freshman pitcher. She made all 3 selections for the Spartans, all second team selections. Courtney Martin, pitcher. Katie Maloney, second time,
second year in a row,
co-rookie of the year last year. Now back on the second team this year at shortstop, and then freshman center fielder J.C. Cristato.
He's had a really good,
been a really good, great leadoff hitter. She's got certainly has a bright future.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit of pop, can drive the ball. I think that all in all, that was a pretty good year. Ironically, though, and this is what makes me chuckle because things make me chuckle. The rookie of the year, there were 5 freshmen on the combined first and second all-conference teams, but not the rookie of the year. How does that make any sense to you? It makes zero sense to me that you could have 5 freshmen combined. I think there were 2 on the first team and 3 on the second team, but yet the rookie of the year was not a member of the all-conference team. That seems strange.
Just trying to spread out the love to everyone, I guess. Everyone gets a medal.
The thing that's a little irritating is that the freshman, the rookie of the year, and from what Coach Pettis said, a kid that deserved it, but she's a pitcher. Courtney Martin's a pitcher, and she's a freshman, and she made the all-conference team. But this kid, who's a pitcher, did not. It just seems strange to me. So things that make you go,
Don't try to figure it out.
Can't try to figure it out. But
one other note too. This is the first 20-win season since 2010 for softball. So that's definitely coming in this year. I would say I'm impressed with the performance they've had, given all the odds, the young, the youth. So to get back to 20 wins for not being there since 2010, I think that's something they should definitely be proud of.
All
and
it's
good look moving forward.
All in all, fantastic year. I mean, I think if we would have said at the beginning of the year we were going to be where we at heading into the last 2 games of the year, I think grudgingly Coach Pettis would have said, "Okay, I'll take that." Because she's a she's a coach that's very driven to be good and has a very good idea of what she wants her teams to look like. And it won't be too much longer till we get there. So I think the future is certainly bright for our softball program.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, guys, great show as always. Enjoyed it very much. Can't believe we only have one of these left for the school season. But
I think we just have one in the summer just for...
You want to just do it?
Just sit down, round table action.
Okay.
Bring a bunch of people into the sprawling studios at WOYK and just have a show.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Sold me.
There we go.
All right, well, we will take a break next week with everything going on for all of our parties involved and kind of regroup to recap the school year. When we come back, what'll that be? Monday the 11th, I think it is?
Monday the 11th.
May 11th.
You'll be coming off a final game of a short, abbreviated homestand.
There aren't too many off days. We're going from there to Camden and Sugar Land. So.
Yes. Oh, the Sugar Land trip.
Yeah.
What good times that must be.
I'd be pretty much useless on the program if we were doing it coming off that trip.
That's different.
No Tracy McGrady this year.
Yeah, no Tracy McGrady this year.
No,
what are you gonna do?
No.
Bummer.
Yeah, well, just a tame old.
Maybe they'll sign some
season.
other former, retread celebrity athlete. We'll see. Oh,
any ideas?
Maybe Charles Barkley. Does he play
Charles
baseball?
Barkley.
I mean, his golf swing's atrocious.
Maybe
his
Bo
baseball
Jackson
swing's
get
a
out
little bit
there.
better.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Bo.
Bo Jackson on 2 artificial hips is better than probably any athlete around. He's fantastic.
Yeah, McGrady got his first career strikeout in the All-Star game and then hung it up.
Nice.
So. But we got
an interview with him.
Hey, you might as well go out. If you're going to go out, that's the way to go out.
Go out on top, baby.
Bang.
The All-Star game where Sugarland made up one whole team of the All-Star game. But anyway, different discussion.
It's like the all-conference. Do you ask why? You just shake your head and go, okay.
That's right.
That's what we do.
That's right. Entertainment value.
Exactly.
Well, guys, enjoy your next couple of weeks, and especially women's lacrosse championship game, track and field championships at home. Definitely looking forward to keeping tabs on that while the Revs are on the road this weekend. But we'll be checking in. So enjoy the week, guys. Thanks a lot.
Hey,
Thanks,
you too.
Daryl.
Good luck this week.
Thank you. Well, for Derek Berenshausen, Scott Geis, Ray Jensen in here with us as well. Daryl Henry saying so long. This has been your College Spartans Sports Weekly. Revs baseball coming up tonight at 6:10 as York hosts Lancaster for the first time this season. And we'll be back with you 2 weeks from today, Monday, May 11th at 4 o'clock for your College Spartans Sports Weekly. Have a good week, everyone.
Your home for York's home team. The York College Spartans play here. Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York.